If Tamra Judge had her way, Lisa Rinna would be back on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She believes that RHOBH franchise really needs her. Plus, Tamra loves Rinna. Lisa exited RHOBH after season 12, which was particularly toxic and messy. She has shared that she's been much happier since leaving, so her coming back doesn't look likely. But that isn't stopping the Real Housewives of Orange County star from sharing that the RHOBH series would really benefit from having Lisa return. Rory OC's Tamra Judge is a big fan of RHOBH alum Lisa Rinna. This isn't the first time Tamra has expressed her support for Lisa. The RHOBH star has said many times that she wants Lisa back on RHOBH. And while it may have seemed unlikely before, Lisa has mentioned that she did love a lot of the women in the show, and it wasn't Bravo that ran her off. So maybe there's hope yet. And Tamra is here for it. She appeared on Radio Andy's The John Hill Show and shared how she'd love to see a Lisa RHOBH comeback, despite it probably not happening. When asked by John if Lisa should return, Tamra replied, "Absolutely. 100%. King Lutely. They need her. I love her." John mentioned that he was just talking about Lisa, and that he loved her too, and agreed that she should come back. "I don't think she'll go back though," Tamra shared. But still, they talked about how they loved Lisa regardless because she was a really nice lady. "Anytime I see her, and we've only met a couple of times," John shared. "She did the radio show forever ago, like 9 years ago or something, and she always remembers my name, who I am. Some people don't." Tamra shared that she and Lisa often share products. "I am always her biggest supporter," Tamra admitted. "She needs to come back." Tamra also shared that she's really excited to see Rachel Zoe joining RHOBH too. She predicts the girls will clamor for Rachel's approval because she's really chic. The California sun, a relentless golden orb, beat down on Tamra Judge's sprawling backyard in Orange County. But Tamra wasn't soaking up the rays. Instead, she was hunched over her iPad, a half-eaten protein bar forgotten beside a sweating glass of iced tea, her gaze fixed on a flickering screen. An old episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills played, specifically one from season 10. Lisa Rinna, with her signature slicked back hair and a mischievous glint in her eye, was delivering a perfectly timed, cutting one-liner that sent Tamra into a fit of appreciative giggles. "God, she's just it," Tamra muttered to herself, shaking her head. They need her back. They desperately need her back. It wasn't just a casual thought. It was a conviction that had taken root deep in Tamra's reality TV-savvy soul. The current season of RHOBH, while certainly having its moments, felt like a perfectly manicured garden without its most vibrant, unpredictable bloom. It was beautiful, yes, but a little safe. Too much polite conversation, too many carefully curated apologies. Where was the chaos? The unbridled honesty, even if it stung. The sheer, unadulterated Rinna of it all. Tamra knew the game. She played it for years, masterfully navigating the treacherous waters of friendships, feuds, and fabricated drama. She understood that a successful Housewives franchise wasn't just about glamour and wealth. It was about personality, about the willingness to stir the pot, to be the villain and the hero all at once. And Lisa Rinna, in Tamra's expert opinion, was a master alchemist of reality television. She remembered the whispers, the reports of season 12 being toxic and messy. Rinna had been at the epicenter, a lightning rod for criticism and adoration in equal measure. Tamra had watched it unfold, sometimes wincing, sometimes cheering, but always recognizing the undeniable entertainment value. Rinna had absorbed the blows, dished them out with equal ferocity, and then, just like that, she was gone. A self-imposed exile, trading the gilded cage of reality TV for, as she publicly stated, a calmer, happier existence. Happier, schmappier, Tamra scoffed, though a part of her genuinely hoped it was true for her friend. But the show, The show was suffering. It was like watching a perfectly good play with the lead actress missing. The understudies were fine, but they weren't her. Tamra picked up her phone, her fingers hovering over Rinna's contact. She'd sent a text just last week, a quick check-in about a new skincare line they were both trying. Rinna had replied promptly, her usual effusive emojis accompanying a brief positive review. Their connection, though born from the strange, symbiotic world of Bravo, felt genuine. They were both survivors, both understood the unique pressures and rewards of living their lives in front of a million cameras. She scrolled through social media, seeing snippets of the current RHOBH cast. Kyle was still Kyle, Dorit was still Dorit, Garcelle was still Garcelle. All lovely, all entertaining in their own ways. But there was no one to truly disrupt the ecosystem, no one to call out the unspoken truths, no one to push the boundaries until they snapped. Rinna had been that person. She was the one who dared to say what others only thought, the one who wasn't afraid to be disliked if it meant being authentic. Tamra recalled the recent interview on John Hill's Radio Andy show. John, bless his heart, got it. He understood the fundamental truth of the Housewives universe. Sometimes you needed a little chaos to appreciate the calm. So John, she'd said, leaning into the microphone, a mischievous glint in her own eye, you're asking if Lisa Rinna should come back to Beverly Hills. John had grinned, his enthusiasm palpable. Absolutely, I was just talking about her. I love her. Absolutely, 100%. Absov asterisk King Lutely, Tamra had declared, her voice rising with conviction. They need her. I love her. It was the truth. She loved Rinna's no-nonsense attitude, her willingness to engage, her undeniable star power. And the show? It was craving that energy. I don't think she'll go back, though. Tamra had admitted on the show, a sigh escaping her lips. It was the harsh reality. Rinna had found peace. She was focusing on her family, her acting, her beauty brand. Why would she step back into the lion's den? Yet the conversation had continued, a shared lament for a beloved reality TV icon. John had echoed her sentiments, recalling how Rinna always remembered his name, a small but significant detail that spoke volumes about her genuine nature behind the cameras. Some people don't, he'd noted, and Tamra had nodded in agreement. It was a rare quality in a world often dominated by fleeting connections and self-absorption. I am always her biggest supporter, Tamra had confessed, and it was true. From cheering on Rinna Beauty to sharing tips on anti-aging products, their bond extended beyond just Bravo reunions. They were fellow travelers on the sometimes bumpy road of public life, offering each other a quiet understanding that few others could. Meanwhile, in a sprawling, minimalist home overlooking the Hollywood Hills, Lisa Rinna was indeed content. Her days were no longer dictated by production schedules, confessionals, or the constant anxiety of a pending confrontation. She woke up, had coffee with Harry, walked her dogs, and spent hours in her home office, meticulously planning the next phase of Rinna Beauty. There were acting auditions, yes, and the occasional red carpet, but the relentless, all-consuming machine of reality television was a distant hum, not a roaring engine in her ear. She scrolled through her own Instagram, seeing Tamra's recent post about her workout routine. A smile touched Rinna's lips. Tamra was a force, a true OG. She understood the grind. Rinna remembered their last text exchange, the one about the new serum. Tamra was always so supportive, so genuinely enthusiastic about her ventures. It was nice. A different kind of nice than the carefully constructed alliances and rivalries of the show. Still, a tiny, almost imperceptible flicker of something stirred within her when she saw clips of the current RHOBH season. It looked fine, pleasant. She saw the new dynamics, the emerging friendships, the inevitable squabbles. But it lacked a certain je ne sais quoi. A certain Rinna. She knew the fans felt it. Her DMs were still flooded with messages, pleas for her return. "We miss you, Rinna. Come back, the show needs you." She told people she was happier, and she was. The constant scrutiny, the need to justify every word, every action had been exhausting. The online vitriol had been particularly draining, but there was also an undeniable thrill to it, a rush of adrenaline that came from being at the center of the storm. A part of her, a very small, deeply buried part, missed that. Tamra's voice echoed in her mind. They need her. Did they? Did she need them? The thought of Rachel Zoe joining the cast intrigued her. Tamra had mentioned it, predicting a scramble for Rachel's approval due to her undeniable chickness. Rinna knew Rachel. They moved in similar circles. Rachel was sophisticated, stylish, and had a sharp wit. She could bring a new kind of energy, a different kind of power dynamic. Would that be enough to reignite the spark she'd once felt for the show? Rinna imagined the first group event with Rachel. The subtle jockeying for position, the fashion critiques, the undercurrent of judgment. It was a dance she knew well, a dance she'd often led. Would Rachel be a worthy sparring partner, or would she be another one to fall in line? The idea of returning, even for a cameo, felt like stepping back into old shoes, comfortable, familiar, but perhaps a little worn. She told everyone it wasn't Bravo that ran her off, and it wasn't. It was a mutual understanding, a need for a break, but the door, she'd implied, wasn't entirely closed.